Hey friends, I want to show you this new Taylor Chicago Standard Trumpet that we just received here at Ernie Williamson Music. This is a really, really interesting horn, and I thought, I'm definitely going to, of course, do a review video for it because we all like to see cool and interesting things. This, I will tell you right off the bat, this horn is not for everybody. Okay, without a doubt, this horn is not the perfect choice for every player. This is an instrument that definitely has its sweet spot of who this would be appropriate for. Why is that? Well, pretty simply, it has a lot of unusual features that are different from our standard trumpets that we're used to. Let's start with a couple of really obvious things. One, this bell. This bell is 5.8 inches large. So 5.8 inches. Average trumpet bell is under 5 inches. The new sort of super horns you see out today, a lot of those have a 5-inch bell and maybe up to a 5.25. This is 5.8, so this is a much bigger bell than normal. That's one thing. The next thing is this is built to be a heavyweight horn. So it's using a heavier gauge of materials everywhere, not just with heavy caps and valve tops, but everywhere to make this horn weigh nearly twice as much as a Bach Strad or Yamaha Xeno. This instrument weighs over 3 pounds 6 ounces, and your average Bach or Yamaha weighs just under 2 pounds. So this is nearly twice the weight of a normal horn. The receiver and lead pipe combo here, this is machined out of one solid piece of metal, and you can see it is just a really, let's see if the camera focuses. Yeah, it does. Thick piece of metal. I'm pretty sure it's brass. And with that, you get optimal energy transfer through the lead pipe, but also just additional weight. Then add in the heavyweight finger rings, the heavyweight oversized knurled buttons. This just ends up being a heavy instrument. And then you have the cool satin design that this has. So it is lacquered and it's in the satin finish. So it'll basically always look like this. And I love all of the appointments, the way that's done. That pull ring is, how many sides does that have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's a 6-sided thing? I can't remember. Gosh, I only passed geometry in high school because my geometry teacher didn't like me and she didn't want me to have to retake it. So I don't remember what a 6-sided thing is, but that's what that is. I'm pretty sure these are Carol brass valves. Yep. Carol brass valves, which are great, some of the best valves in the business, so I love that. But the bell and lead pipe and other parts are going to be made from the team at Taylor in the UK. Okay, so I've kind of, and then also it comes with this Taylor ML mouthpiece, which is frankly very similar to a heavyweight 3C. But the mouthpiece itself is weighted so that it's balanced and matches with this horn. So I've talked about kind of how it's not like a conventional horn. Who would want this? Well, a lot of people, but I think mainly those people that are if you're into jazz as a soloist, if you love that focused, rich, smoky sound, this is the horn for you. If you love the sound of Wynton and Marcus Printup and just all those guys that have used those heavier monettes over the years and just love that kind of really warm sound, a sound that doesn't have a lot of highs in it, you will love the way this instrument sounds. Now, that's not really my forte as a player. Because I'm an upstream player, I tend to just have a little bit brighter sound. So as I do this demo for you, kind of realize that this horn is having to work against a lot of my own natural tendencies. So with someone who, if you are that type of player, you will definitely get that ooey gooey warm sound on steroids that for me is a little harder to get. But even with me, you'll be able to hear this sounds quite a bit different than any of my other horns do. the major 6 there. So you can hear it's just got that really rich, smoky sound to it. Morning chops aside, anyone who's watched enough knows I don't like playing in the morning, but yet here I am doing videos in the morning, which is kind of the way my life works sometimes. But yeah, this thing is just really, really lovely. Buttery, smooth, easy to play. So even like playing like those high notes, it doesn't have that screaming sound to it. You know, it sounds almost like a flugelhorn up there, but with the punch of a trumpet. So maybe that's what it is. If you want to sound like a flugel, but you want that mid-range punch that a trumpet has, friends, we have found your trumpet. I love this. If I was more of a soloist, I'm not like really an improviser or soloist. I mean, I can improvise a little bit, but I'm probably the 8th best improviser in my town that I think has 4 improvisers. That was more my bag. I would totally take this. This is kind of dumb, but I'll do it anyways. If you want to hear what this horn sounds like with a shallow commercial mouthpiece, this is a Schilke 6A 4A, so it's going to be, you know, smaller diameter, not a small, well, depends on who you are. To me, it's not small. But a shallow cup and a tight back bore. This is what it sounds like in this horn. So you can get, it's Sarge approved. You can get the B below double C out on it, and it definitely will play those notes, but it doesn't have much of that on there. It has like a little bit, but it just sounds thick and fat up there in the upper register. This isn't a horn that I would take to play lead trumpet on, but if you were doing a little bit of that, this would definitely work and do it. Let's talk a little bit more about what the outfit's like. So it comes with this really cool Taylor double trumpet case. It's nice and compact in size. This is smaller than like, you know, a Bach trumpet case. I've got a Yamaha double case here right next to me. It's honestly even smaller than the hardshell Yamaha double case. So you have an exterior pocket here. It has the backpack straps are in there, but this case provides backpack straps too. You've got dual zippers. So room for 2 horns. Removable pillows to kind of get it stacked the way you want. A little bag to keep the horn in. And then it comes with, you know, a zippered pouch. And it comes with a really nice mouthpiece pouch too. So it holds 2 to 3 mouthpieces. But yeah, like a nice, just, you know, it's a nice bit of kit. Did you hear that? Nice bit of kit. A little bit of British for you there. But a nice bit of kit to come with this outfit, which is nice. So these Taylor instruments are, I think, I'm really excited by them. I think the guys over at Taylor built a really amazing instrument at a very affordable price. And obviously, they're taking design cues. Well, Taylor's been around longer than many of these other companies, but they've kind of taken some of those design cues from a company like Monette, and have sort of done their own thing with it. And they've been doing it now for decades, and they just make some of the best bells and really, really, really fine instruments. Since then, I think a lot of the Taylor designs and the Monette designs have gone on to influence companies like AR Resonance and Lotus and countless others. But Taylor is kind of one of the OGs in terms of that. Priced really affordably. I think this horn in lacquer in US is around like $4,400, which is, you know, half the price of an AR Resonance, $2,000 almost less than a Lotus, or $1,500 less than a Lotus. And so, and those horns, I want to be clear, those horns have their own thing going on, and I'm not saying that they're not worth what they're worth, but as we go up in that premium quality, the price exponentially just starts getting higher to get a little bit more performance. Anyone who's ever, you know, looked into any of that kind of stuff, whether it's like racing or gaming or whatever, if you want to like get 20% better performance, you have to start spending like a lot more money to get there. You can like look at race cars or cars, for example. Like you can get like a production model Corvette that'll do 0 to 60 in probably 4 seconds or whatever for $100,000, right? But if you want to be able to do that in 3 seconds, you're probably spending $200,000 or more, right? And so it just starts getting like really much more expensive as you go. So as I make these comparisons to other instruments and I talk about the value proposition that Taylor kind of sits in, I just want to make sure that you're not hearing me saying this is as good of a horn as those others for less money, or those other horns aren't worth the price, because that's not at all what I'm saying, okay? So, but for $4,300, this is a really, really nice instrument that is more similar to be compared to the instruments in those higher price points than instruments below it, okay? Maybe I went on a little too long about that, but I just wanted to be really clear for a couple of reasons. One, those builders of those other instruments, like Taylor like Lotus and like AR Resonance, they're friends of mine. And then also, like, I really believe in like their products too. But for some people, $6,000 or $8,000 is just not in the cards, and especially not $20,000 with Monette. So for some people, that's just not an option. That they want something in that class or in that. But they want something in that style in a price point they can afford. Okay, enough of that. So friends, if you would like this horn, at the time of me doing this video, it's available and it's in stock. You can head over to Ernie Williamson Music and check it out. So if you head over to erniewilliamson.com, you can search for it on the site, Taylor Chicago. Free shipping and no sales tax when you order direct from erniewilliamson.com. Unfortunately, if you live in Missouri or Kansas, I do have to charge you sales tax. Sorry. But for everybody else, you get free shipping. If you don't see it there, you can shoot me an email at donovan@erniewilliamson.com, and I'm happy to get one on order for you. But yeah, I think this is a heck of a deal, and a really, really nice horn and a nice outfit. Check it out. What do you think? Let me know in the comments.